I say, YouTube. Good morning, good morning. Man, I gotta be a little more consistent with this thing, you hear me? Good morning. If it's your first time rocking with the boy, scratch all that. Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith. Let's talk about it. Now let's get back to the intro. If it's your first time rocking with the boy, be the KING, SPR, 33. That be me, King Spray. And you locked in with the real estate team. Reporting live from Savannah, Georgia. Decatur, where it's crazy. Or whatever Lloyd said. And baby, you've been patiently waiting. You got your shades on, you got your sunscreen, and you just waiting for that summer mixtape to drop. I promise it's coming soon, and girl, you gonna love it. Now we're gonna get right into a little bit of action. I've been so inconsistent with this thing, still adjusting to like Savannah life. Been lazy, been a little discouraged. Been focusing that gym though. I know y'all heard it 1,000 times, but the summer's mine. Next summer, of course. Like the video, please like the video, subscribe to the kingdom, join the royal family. We are at 180 something, so road to 200, then road to 500, and road to 1 million, you hear me? Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith. So I'm somebody that I like to talk, right? But I like to hear people speak about topics as well. And that's one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I was like, well, if I like to hear people, whether they're famous or not, I'm sure others want to hear people talk about stuff. And that's where I came in. So I watch all the Undisputeds and First Takes. Not First Takes so much anymore, but Undisputed, because I like Shannon Sharpe. I also like Nick Wright. So there's a couple people that I like, and I like hearing what they got to say about certain topics. So recently I've been seeing a lot of stuff happen with like sports entertainment and basically people selling their podcasts or selling their shows for a bunch of money. And though I'm nowhere near in that category, it got me thinking like, man, that world's kind of, it can be lucrative, but also it's kind of crazy how like the big bucks are moving with somebody just talking in front of a camera. So Shannon Sharpe recently, maybe I think a month or 2 months ago now, he got bought out from Fox Sports, and he's a free agent. And there are rumors that he might be going to FanDuel TV. There are rumors that he might be headed to ESPN, which would be really good. And there are rumors that Skip Bayless can't find a replacement for him on Undisputed, and they're scrambling like Randall with his, you hear me? And Stephen A. Smith has already publicly come out on his show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, and said, yeah, it's true. We want Shannon. We're in talks with Shannon. And though I don't make any decisions, I want Shannon. If I'm Shannon, you're in a good position right now. You're probably in a position to make the most money you've ever made in your life, including football. If I'm Shannon, what I'm doing is, and I'm sure he's going to be doing this, he's weighing his options, not just money, because it's not all about money all the time. He probably also wants to see, is he going to have an opportunity for ownership? And if he can't own the show, which he probably won't be able to own a show that's already on, but if he can't own the show, can I be somebody that has a heavy influence on the show with my creativity and character and personality, while also doing my Club Shay Shay and other things on the side? One thing they spoke about is that he could get a TV deal with FanDuel for Club Shay Shay, while also working for ESPN First Take. And it just got me thinking, like, once I moved to Savannah, I really started seeing, like, money is like, I already was really counting my stacks. Even though the census says I make way above average, I was already counting my stacks. Now that I make average, I'm really counting my stacks. But it goes to show that when you build a brand, and I know that term brand is so like loosely used, but when you build something, right, whether it takes 1 month, 10 months, 2 years, so on and so on, when you build something that has value, you can really take it and pivot. You can really take it and move to the next level. whatever that might be, whether that's a YouTube personality, whether you on a TikTok thing, whether you are a really good doctor, nurse, whatever it might be. When you have value, you now can demand certain things. And Shannon Sharpe's in a position right now where he can put himself, he can kind of lock the game up for the next decade if he does it right. And when I say do it right, I don't know what doing it right really means. It's not like I have the business acumen of Ghost from Power or, you know, one of them heavy hitters. But I do realize that he's in a really good position, especially for black men that can take it from the sports arena and now take it to the entertainment / business arena and really be able to set themselves up and their family up for a while. And like I said earlier, I was a little discouraged with this YouTube thing because, like, you don't get no real traction. You hear me? Like, you get a couple follows here and there, and I've been doing this going on 2 years on and off. And granted, I'm not Mr. like pay for the Google ads, and my thumbnails are not, you know, where they need to be, and I'm not the guy that's like putting in 100% of the work. But you grow slow. You grow very slow. Now, of course, those could be loyal subscribers, loyal followers, but you still grow slow, right? And I got a friend that he does the car content. He does Biscayne supercars. Go ahead and check him out. And he's at the mixers. He got the dope thumbnails. He goes to the car shows. He's doing what needs to be done to get to the next level, whatever the next level might be. And it got me thinking, like, man, I need to get back on it, even if it's not for like the fame and the glamour and the money. If you could just be in a situation where you can document yourself appropriately with and know that when it's all said and done, you got a little library with how you used to think at the time. And maybe there'll be some comments that people want to hear. Maybe some comments that you see that you want to read back later on. Maybe a video can resonate with somebody in a way that you didn't think before. So it's not all about trying to chase a celebrity dream, because only a few of us will do that. But just to have the documentation, just to have the library, just to have the this is how I thought, this is how I looked, this is what I did at that time, can be pretty dope. Anyway, I know I took it from high energy to low energy real quick, you heard me, but just my thoughts on that matter. Shannon Sharpe, man, wherever he go, we going with you, Unc. We right behind you, Unc. We trying to see what you talk about. I want to hear the voice. I want to see the enthusiasm, the jokes. I want to be back into that in the mornings. And random. So I think his name is Pat McAfee or McAfee, something like that. And how he sold his brand. I don't know the inner workings of the deal, but apparently he sold his brand for 4-year deal with ESPN. 120 mil. So 30 mil a year. That begs the question, if you build a brand, would you sell out for the money? And by sell out, that just means, like, would you go corporate for the money? And the answer is everything's dependent on certain things. And I know a lot of people want to be independent, but it really does depend on your trajectory, your plan, and what you can do after that contract is done. Now, if you build a brand and if you stay independent, you're making, let's just say you're making $5 million a year, right? Maybe let's say even 10. But if you go the corporate route, you got enough leverage where you can make 30. Now, obviously the number 30 is way bigger than, it's 3 times more than 10. But then you ask yourself, what about creative control? What about what's your ability to do things outside of that? And then ultimately, when the contract is done, can you take that show and then, you know, re-sign or go somewhere else? And can you keep taking that show that you created and keep applying pressure on the industry? Now, if you can sell the show or the rights to the show for a while, like Joe Rogan, and then get right back on it when the contract is done, then that's a win-win. Because at the end of the day, you need money to get power. And the difference between 10 million and 30 million is a night and day difference when you talk about being able to navigate certain spaces. And I don't just mean being able to buy cars, jewelry, and a house. I'm talking about sometimes you need liquid capital in order to make certain moves that others don't even see coming, right? And if you are in this, LeBron's an example of that. LeBron said one time he wants all his money. And his bigger picture is he wants ownership of a team. So he knows he needs to have a certain amount of money on hand to be able to even be in the game of, we're gonna buy said team, we're gonna bring a team to Vegas, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. So I need all my money. And I think as like a consumer, which is what I am, and most of us are, sometimes we don't look at it like that. We look at it like, oh well, you know, it's okay if I give a dollar here or there, or I don't ask for a raise, or I don't advocate for this, that, and the third. And what happens is we lose a lot of money that these companies don't care. They don't care to not pay you this money. They don't care to not pay you this money. By all means, they will give you the least amount possible for the most work possible. And it's up to us to be able to say like, no, I got to make sure that I'm okay. I got to make sure that I put myself in the right situation. Even myself, when I came down here, I took a drastic pay cut. It's about like $12, $13 an hour kind of pay cut. And yes, I have a bigger plan in mind, but it still hurts nonetheless. And not only did I take a pay cut, but I also now have to pay state income taxes. So it hits you on both sides. But at the time, I couldn't really negotiate because I needed something quick, and I need to be able to push my situation forward. And at that time, that was the way to push it forward. Like the video, subscribe to the kingdom, join the royal family. This has been a message brought to you by the good people over here at Spree ENT. It's gonna all make sense real soon.